Hello there and welcome to a fresh episode of the program Last Week in Nigeria. My name is Emmanuel Oriowo. Last Week in Nigeria is a one-stop shop program where we get to bring you stories that were reported by national dailies last week in Nigeria. And guess what? Last week in Nigeria, it was a serious experience of hardship as Nigerians have been saying so many things concerning what unfolded last week. Honestly speaking, you will definitely find this episode an interesting one as we get to reel out stories that were reported last week by national dailies. Don't forget, like us, share us, and of course, follow us on all our social media platforms. On our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification button for our subsequent episodes so that you can get to know about them, and then you have the opportunity to drop your comments there, share, like, and let's keep the conversation going because we need to continue to connect the dots as we dot the I's and cross the T's about the issues being reported nationwide by national dailies last week in Nigeria. And I want to begin this way with this particular one. The Matrix newspaper, in the beginning of last week, we saw the story, it came up, it says, Tinubu is manipulating Wike to destroy PDP. Lamido there speaking. That was boldly on the front page of the Matrix newspaper, bringing you some political stories about the internal wrangling that we have concerning Fubara, Wike, APC, PDP. Interesting moments in our nation where personalities are speaking a lot of weight, and of course, political parties are shaking. Even the nation at large felt the whole noise about this fight of personalities. Okay, Thursday newspaper brought us this one last week. Wike threatens PDP governors supporting Fubara, vows to instigate crisis in their states. Wike is wicked. But guess what? Mr. President will say Wike is working. How do we juxtapose all of that? He is threatening that I'm going to put fire in your states as a governor if you support Fubara. Interesting moments. That story was widely reported by national daily newspapers concerning the imbroglio that is ongoing between the FCT minister, who is the landlord in Abuja, and of course, the number one citizen of Rivers State, talking about Fubara. Okay, we have it this way on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Fuel scarcity. This was just reported on Monday, last week in Nigeria, not knowing that there will be a bombshell later in the week. But the way the Nation newspaper reported it last week was captioned this way. Fuel scarcity. Suppliers shun NNPC over 6 billion PMS debt. Yes, at the beginning of the week, last week, we heard the statement by Mele Kyari saying that, look, there's a debt. Yeah, well, we now want to own up that, we are really owing these guys. But in the course of the week, there was a bombshell. We'll get to that as we report the stories that were highlighted by newspapers last week in Nigeria. Tinubu dismantles vestiges of Buhari's cabal. That's the way Sunday Telegraph captioned the story. Below the nameplate of the newspaper, CSOs to federal government, that's talking about civil society organizations. Southeast becoming capital of human rights abuse. That was a clarion call by civil society organizations to the federal government, and that's reported by the Telegraph newspaper last week in Nigeria. Fubara. Wike talks tough. That's the way Sunday newspaper captioned it. Once PDP governor supporting Rivers State, just like I told you earlier. Drug war. The Sunday Times reported tension in Bayelsa community as NDLEA youths fight over raid of barons. And we also have this one reported, Tinubu may shake up cabinet as pressure mounts on ministers. The scorecard we were expecting some few months ago, and now we're beginning to hear that there might be some shakeup in the cabinet of Mr. President. Maybe that will be based on their performance or based on other assignments. The Daily Sun brought us this one last week in Nigeria. Agony, anger, swell over on ending fuel scarcity. This was still at the beginning of the week. But at the twilight of last week in Nigeria, it was a higher toned tension. Vanguard newspaper, no end in sight to petrol scarcity as economy gasps for breath. And that was by the Vanguard newspaper. The Daily Times newspaper, Article 2 FG, implements provisions of PIA, list NNPCL on stock Exchange, that he's talking about the Petroleum Industrial Act. It was a bill before, it now became an act, so now it's a law. And Atiku is now advising the federal government, look, come on, NNPCL, it's now limited liability company, put it on the stock exchange market so that maybe people will subscribe to their shares and all of that. And maybe that would tone down the strength of the NNPCL. Calls for market price grow over petrol crisis. You can imagine. There will be a ripple effect when we have scarcity of fuel. And when there's a fuel hike, that is the price, cost of pump price, definitely things will go the other way too. Well, the Leadership newspaper brought us this story. It says, Northern Southern elders disagree over new constitution. Some are saying we should shred the 1999 constitution. Some are saying we should go back to what it used to be. Some are saying, no, let us have a round table, let us have a new constitution. And this has been going back and forth. In fact, last week in Nigeria, concerning the issue of state police, we heard that 4 states were yet to submit their position concerning that. And in fact, at that particular meeting that was held, they were saying that states that are not going to forward anything concerning the issue of state police, that all of this will also go into the constitution at a later date, if that happens. If those states are not forthcoming, they should just take whatever decision they take within the other 32 states and the FCT. They didn't tell us those states anyway. Daily Trust newspaper, petrol price may rise as NNPCL admits financial strain. Initially they said, we were not owing anybody, but they came out to say, hey, yeah, truly, we're owing these people, bringing in fuel for us, the sum of $6 billion US. That's a whopping sum. And guess what? After owning up to owing them, suddenly, the Dangote refinery decided to come on board to dish out the first day products domestically, and same day, we heard from Mele Kyari, the NNPC, saying, fuel pump price official 670 naira is now going to be 855 naira. And guess what? Independent marketers started doing their magic. You know the magic. Instead of selling at the official pump price, everybody gets their own market now. Abi, shoe, some were selling for 1,000 naira, 1,001, 1,002. We hope it won't get to 1,005, if not 2,000, as the case might be, because checking the trend of things the way they are now, and looking at the cost of goods, looking at the cost of the landing cost is the common statement they always talk about when they talk about this fuel thing. I wish I had a fuel expert in the studios or a petrol marketer, somebody who could tell us all this. Looking at the fact that Dangote refinery came on stream last week in Nigeria, set to dish out fuel, and suddenly, after all that we've been hearing back and forth between the NNPCL and the Dangote, in terms of the quality of the products that Dangote will be dishing out, in terms of whether he's going to be selling to NNPCL alone, after they now later agreed that, okay, the quality is fine, but who will be the sole customer you will be having? You sell to us, and then we determine the rest. Later on also, we also heard from Dangote saying that, hey, after appreciating the government for the fact that they want to buy from him, he came out to say, okay, I will also sell at the official pump price. Meaning what? If this is produced locally, ain't we supposed to have a reduction in the price of fuel? Well, these are not my opinions. These are what people are saying. You understand? Unfortunately, they don't want to say that before the camera. Let's keep the comment going at the comment section and let's know what you feel about the state of the nation. Last week in Nigeria has reported to you. Let's pause for this commercial break. I'll be back shortly with more stories, more intriguing stories that will definitely blow your mind. Don't forget, it pays to advertise your goods and services on this program to reach the whole world in one breath by just a click. Stay with us. I'll be back shortly.
Thinking about high quality and long-lasting products? Think MaySharp, an online store serving parents and children in Nigeria and globally. Log on to www.maysharp.com to place your orders now.
MaySharp Online Store, your #1 online children's store in Nigeria and globally. we offer nationwide delivery. Mayshop online store. Great styles at the best prices for your babies and kids.
For more information about us, you may chat with us on WhatsApp web chat or call us at 0805 551 5736 or 0805 551 5649 and speak to our friendly customer service representatives. Visit our website www.mayshop.com.
It's still at Last Week in Nigeria, your One Breath program for all the news that were reported last week in Nigeria. Don't forget, we are on all social media platforms talking about TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. And don't forget, on our YouTube channel, you need to subscribe, share, like, keep the conversation going in the comment section, turn on the notification button for our subsequent episode. We now delve into the entertainment segment, and of course, we had on good authority last week in Nigeria concerning the transporter who had an altercation with one Nollywood artist, talking about transporter Koko Zaria. Koko Zaria court remands popular transporter Koko Zaria for assaulting Nollywood actor. That was by the Lagos State Chief Magistrate Court. And well, that has been in the news on the social media for a while now, that Koko Zaria assaulted the Nollywood actor. And now the court is saying they need to remand Koko Zaria for doing that. And also last week in Nigeria, we got the good news that Ooni of Ife welcomed a son with Olori Ashley. From here, we say congratulations to you, the Ooni of Ife, Ooni of the Source, or Jaja II. We say congratulations to you. Now for Sporting Gist, let's bring you this one. No way back for Osimhen. That was the way the Sporting Sun captioned that particular story. And funny enough, the week ended with the news of Osimhen moving straight to Galatasaray. So we say congratulations to Victor Osimhen for his new platform, Galatasaray. He's going to be in the Europe, he's going to be in the Champions League, and we say congratulations to you. Some more sporting stories like Paris, like Peru, and that's the way we have it for the Sports Punch Extra newspaper. On that note, let's apply the brakes for now. I'll be back again next week on a fresh episode of the program. Kindly join me. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, share, comment, and answer our questions. You might be the next winner. Follow us on all our social media handles, and then you'll be glad you did. On behalf of the entire production crew for this episode, my name is Emmanuel Oriowo. Peace out.